At the other extreme is Pakistan, steeped in fanaticism and terrorism, and a serial borrower from the IMF. Mr. President, this is an important debate. As we complete 80 years of the United Nations, it's a useful moment to reflect on how far the spirit of multilateralism and peaceful settlements of disputes as enshrined in the UN Charter has been realized. Also, what have been the impediments on the way? The first 4 decades after the creation of the United Nations witnessed decolonization and a period of Cold War. Conflicts were largely contained and managed. UN had a significant role in these efforts. In fact, in 1988, UN peacekeeping forces were awarded the Nobel Prize. The end of Cold War was followed by outbreak of a number of conflicts across continents. The nature of UN peacekeeping operations also started to change. In the recent decades, the nature of conflicts has transformed with the proliferation of non-state actors, often proposed and propped up as proxies by state actors, and cross-border funding, arms trafficking, training of terrorists, and spread of radical ideologies facilitated by modern digital and communication technologies. The future trajectory of UN peacekeeping operations is also under serious debate. At the same time, peace building has also acquired greater salience in discussions. Regional organizations, for instance, the African Union, have also engaged appropriately while dealing with disputes among their member states. On the question of peaceful settlement of disputes, Chapter 6 of the UN Charter begins by a recognition that it is the parties to a dispute who must first of all seek a solution by peaceful means of their own choice. National ownership and consent of parties are central to any efforts to achieve peaceful resolution of conflicts. There should also be serious cost to states who violate the spirit of good neighborliness and international relations by fomenting cross-border terrorism. Recently, consequent to the gruesome terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir, on 22nd April 2025, that led to the killing of 26 innocent tourists, and based on the Council statement of 25th April, where members of the Security Council underlined the need to hold perpetrators, organizers, financiers, and sponsors of this reprehensible act of terrorism accountable and bring them to justice, India launched Operation Sindoor, targeting terrorist camps in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, which was focused, measured, and non-escalatory in nature. On achieving its primary objectives, a cessation of military activities was directly concluded at the request of Pakistan. Mr. President, there cannot be one standard approach to dispute resolution. The changing circumstances and context also need to be taken into account while considering any such efforts. India, as a responsible actor and a founding member of the United Nations, has always actively engaged constructively with partners, especially at the United Nations, in collectively working towards a more peaceful, prosperous, and a just and equitable world. From peace and security to decolonization to fair trade, India remains also the largest contributor to UN peacekeeping forces cumulatively, and a pioneer in promoting women in peacekeeping who have become role models while serving in theaters of conflict. In an interconnected and interdependent world, India values multilateral cooperation to help manage global challenges, including sustainable development, climate action, disaster resilience, and global health. India partners the United Nations in a unique development cooperation initiative and is also among the first responders in humanitarian crises in our region. We are at a time when there are growing doubts about the multilateral system, especially the United Nations. The serious question marks over the representativeness of the UN Security Council must be addressed urgently. In this context, India is proud to have facilitated the inclusion of African Union in the G20 platform during its presidency. The continuing UN Security Council impasse also shows the increasing challenges to efficiency and effectiveness of the UN Security Council. Mr. President, I am constrained also to respond to the remarks made by the representative of Pakistan. The Indian subcontinent offers a stark contrast in terms of progress, prosperity, and development models. On the one hand, there is India, which is a mature democracy, a surging economy, and a pluralistic and inclusive society. At the other extreme is Pakistan, steeped in fanaticism and terrorism, and a serial borrower from the IMF. As we debate promoting international peace and security, it is essential to recognize that there are some fundamental principles which need to be universally respected. One of them is zero tolerance for terrorism. It ill behoves a member of the Council to offer homilies while indulging in practices that are unacceptable to the international community. Mr. President, in conclusion, India remains committed to working towards international peace and security through multilateralism and peaceful settlement of disputes. I thank you, Mr. President.